All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Let's get started. Darko finally happened to be around for the live. Who else is painting along? Well, I hope many. Hey, Bilbo. It's my dog here saying hello. Alex, not me, a bit too drunk for painting. Alex, sometimes that's little edge, tipsy, can do quite a lot. The Jackson Pollock method. Yeah, you see. Juan Toledano, hola. Hola, bienvenido, como siempre. Let's go. Hi. Hi to yourself. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. All right, Bilbo. I have to start. You want to say hello to the stream? All right. Come. Hola, hola. Hola, 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 hola. Hola, hola. All right. He wants to play, but too bad. Bilbo, venga, anda, tumba. All right. Cosas del directo, as we say in Spanish. Alex, I have to work on some fantasy illustration. Just decided to buy some beer and watch horror movies. Ooh, nice. Well, that's a nice plan as well. Any particular horror film you are planning to watch? I'm myself a big fan of horror films, but the problem is I find most of them crap. So it's a not good place to be in. Some nice coffee. Fantastic. So, I'm on the wrong screen. There you go. So basically, as you know, I'm not doing anything with these illustrations during the rest of the week, just during the stream. So I have plenty of time to rest my eye, and every single time I come to the stream, I see with fresh eyes. And I have to say that I'm pretty sure I have mentioned sometimes during the stream that I'm a very harsh critic of myself and my work. And this is a perfect example of this. I'm totally appalled by the pose. I think it's horrible. I have absolutely no idea what I was thinking, but it's going completely away from the concepts that I've been discussing about who this character should be. I mean, it feels that it's just squatting to. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but I mean, it's like with the legs so spread at the same time, having these and staff or the possible sword, just to rest the weights. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And he's supposed to be a pretty old guy, and he shouldn't be that energetic or like having, yeah. So it's a post that it's not working. It's not working technically, and it doesn't work from a narrative point of view and who this character is supposed to be. So with all of that, I'm thinking to just redo it. There's not so much lost either, because, well, at the end of the day, so far what I have done with this character is been just working on the basics of the pose, and since it's not making it for me, then just fuck it. Let's do it again. So I know some of you have asked me about how many layers do I use, whatever. Yeah. So this is a great example of showing like, all right, I'm just gonna see the different layers I have. I mean, you see, this one was a little bit uh, closer to what it was supposed to be, but still, I'm not convinced. So what I'm gonna do is to basically merge everything except perhaps this last one. And start again. I mean, I think I will keep the upper part. I think that's cool. But the rest, it's not. And I don't know if you are used to do this often, but I mean, I have to say that in one hand, of course, it's a little bit terrifying, right? It's just like, especially, well, I mean, in this case, I lose. I mean, it's not such a risk because this is just for the stream, right? So it's not a big loss, but when you are doing something similar with some client work, that then it's a little bit scary. But at the same time, it's very cathartic. It feels like I've been annoyed for a long time with this piece or another, and you continue grinding, you continue pushing it, but still something that is not it's not working. It's just you are carrying that thing that is not working, and if you just like fuck it, just let's start from scratch again, it feels like just liberate from a huge weight up from your shoulders. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just taking my dog just to see what he's doing. He's for no good. um um Alex B, glad to finally see you alive. Well, I'm glad as well that you are not seeing me dead. um, I prefer Alex B. I prefer old school ones, but today I watched some new ones about the Vendigo, and now it's all Evil Dead. All right, the Vendigo. Um, I what is the title? I mean, it only comes to mind this short story from Sundance, I think he was called. I mean, this Lovecraftian um, author, well, from the Lovecraft circle of friends. Um, yeah, can't remember. Well, anyway, sorry, I'm digressing. Um, Well, as for me, that pose is not bad, looks pretty dynamic, but I don't know who the guy is. Well, the thing is that exactly, it's too dynamic. I mean, and dynamic is not always good. It depends on the context, right? So this guy, he's supposed, I mean, it's completely made up, right? But so we came up with a conclusion that this guy is a very old guy. And he wouldn't be able to go on the field and fight or anything if it wasn't because of his power armor. Basically, he can be agile and has strength to that through the enhanced strength and mobility of the armor. So if he's too dynamic, it wouldn't fit the character, because even with that enhanced mobility and strength, he wouldn't be as agile and dynamic as a younger person. So I think he's supposed to be old, a little bit crazy, but also he's a very powerful figure. He has powerful, not in terms of combat combat strength, but in terms of influence, right? He has a very high rank in the Inquisition, so he should be showing some how the Romans used to say gravitas, like um, and yeah, and this pose here is just like too, like you say, too dynamic. It doesn't work, and it doesn't work especially with these elements that I want to use it as, yes, to show that he needs still to put some weight on it in order to stand straight. And yeah, so it's more a narrative issue um, more than anything else. Lucia Finstra, hello, thank you so much for sharing your techniques. Could this be Old Man Eisenhorn? You're welcome. It's my pleasure to be here and sharing things. And yeah, it's my absolute pleasure. And welcome to the stream. I think this is the first time I see you around, so very glad to to have you here. And no, it's not Eisenhorn. It's just a completely made up character just for the stream. And as I was explaining, the idea was that, okay, so he's some sort of witch hunter. Witch hunter, very high ranking Inquisitor, and he relies on the power armor to be able to be in the field and do heavy stuff. He is, yeah, like I said, a witch hunter. So he's kind of a fanatic, um, and kind of falling into madness, right? So it's too fanatic, if you know what I mean. Too. So that's kind of the character that I'm trying to imagine here, and so he perhaps he sent very easily people to burn or something awful like that. So yeah, not Eisenhorn. But yeah, seriously, as I was saying, it feels so good to restart. I don't know. It was bothering me for uh, two sessions already. The pose. So yes, happy to be doing this again. Even though it's a setback in certain degree, but yeah, if it's not working, it's not working, regardless of how long, how much time and energy you spend on it. Like I heard, I think it was Ian McKay that I heard something from him. I don't know if it's original of his or he took it from somebody else, but I really liked it. And that he said like you need to be prepared to murder your darlings. In this case, well, it wasn't my darling because I didn't like it, but still the aspect of being prepared just to erase and start again is the same. So Lucia, his visage reminded me to the Third Days in Horror novels cover where he's old and battered. Yeah, I mean, in that, yeah, the concept of being old, yeah, that has that in common, and it is an inquisitor for sure. But yeah, I see what you mean. Andrea Ambrosini, you could draw a wheelchair with guns. Yes, I could, but that would be too close to, I guess, to Ravener. Oh, by the way, did have any of you got the chance to watch the first episode of the tutorial of how to paint and draw Space Marines? And if so, what did you thought? You liked it? You didn't liked it? Do you have some remarks or things that you don't agree, or you? Yeah, I'm very interested in hearing your opinion, even if it's to if it's in a negative way, as far as it is constructive. All right, but yeah, I'm very curious to hear what you have to say, for the good and for the bad, equally. I I was very busy today, so I didn't have time to put the or to announce the premiere for the second episode. But I'm planning to put it up at the end of this week. And this one is gonna be twice as long as the first episode, so it's closer to 1 hour, I think. Shit, I it's oh, um, we are forgetting our cozy fire. Let's see. There you go. even though it's warm as hell. But where where am I? Oh damn! Yeah, I have also to record. There you go. Simartian, hola amigo, how is it going, bud? Simartian, hello, welcome. How are you doing? Doing good, doing good. Just deciding just to almost restart from scratch with this character. Yeah, very good. How about you? How are you doing? Painting any cool stuff? Anything that you can share? So now, again, trying to figure out a pose that I feel can fit better the context and narrative I want for to display on this character. Darko, any thoughts on striking the balance between constructive self-criticism and stifling yourself? Lately, I have been a little stiff under the weight of my own critiques. Yeah, yeah, sure. Let me think. So I think it is very important as an artist to be able to be objective when looking at your own art, right? So both for the good and for the bad, because it tends to be kind of very cool, right, to say, yeah, no, but I'm very tough on myself because I'm drive for perfection and I want everything to be very good and etc etc, and so it feels like, yeah, this person really is yeah, perfectionist, and only good things can come from being very harsh critic of your own work, etc etc. And I don't see it that way. I think it's extremely vital to have a balance. So when I say that I'm very harsh with my own work, is that I genuinely dislike most of the things that I do, because I see all the time errors and things that it's shit. How could I just miss this, or how could have I done this so bad, or the quality is not the ones that I was envisioning for this piece, etc etc. But at the same time, I'm aware that I have my limits as an artist, as a person. I'm human. So I just kind of make mental notes of, okay, this was bad. Let's try for next time to think about this specific thing. So, you know, it's, I kind of remove the passionate aspect of that disappointment and kind of transform it into a more cold, rational um, look to it, to like, or and accepting, embracing it in the sense that, okay, yes, this was bad. Let's try to make it better next time. But well, it is what it is. I need to learn to live with it, and it doesn't matter that much because I cannot do every single piece to be a masterpiece. There's always gonna be shit. Always. You can watch all the most amazing artists in history of art, and they always did plenty of shit. It's just that we remember them for the good ones, but we have forgotten the shit ones. So so yeah, just embracing the sucking, right? That yeah, I cannot be perfect 100% of the time, and perhaps I can aspire to be 20% of the time, and the rest trying to do the best. And if it's not that good, it's like, all right, well, I will try to understand what I did wrong and try to fix it for next time, but not to ravel and just to get obsessed with that. You know, it's just like, okay, I'm again just making a mental note. It's like, okay, remember this, Miguel, for next time. I will try to focus on this and move on and just accept it, and that's it. That's kind of what I do. And at the same time, is that also being able to recognize the things that are good, and trying to be as objective as possible. So not focus only on the bad things or the things that you feel that you failed, but also recognize and be aware of those things that you genuinely think or you are improving or doing very good, and to be aware of that, kind of to find that balance. um, because if you are not aware of doing things right, then you might stop doing them right. So yeah, that's kind of what I can say out of my head right now. I don't know if it's useful, but that's kind of how I approach this dilemma myself. Accepting that I'm gonna do a lot of shitty stuff that is gonna be. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's really from a very subjective point of view, right? Objectively, yeah, I'm gonna do okay things and to a very at least let's say for professional work, right? Client work. Of course, there is a bare minimum, you know, like a standard that you have to accomplish, right? But we are not talking about that, right? It's about your vision, your expectations as an artist, which is something different. And yeah, so as I said, trying to accept it, and and I know that it's like nothing new, just but yeah, that's what I can offer. That's basically. Sieben Suden. Hello, Miguel. Is your new character radical or Puritan? He is a Puritan, as I see him. So he is he hates witches and psychers, and so it's very difficult for him to fall into the radical way of thinking. Um, but in his puritanism, maybe he doesn't fall into using tainted ways or resources to achieve his goals, but in certain way you could say that he's corrupt ethically because he has become mad. That's kind of what I'm how do you say in English? Strifing? No, strifing is completely, that's something completely different. That's what I'm aiming for. So that he has such a high degree of zeal, right, that he becomes mad. So he sees corruption everywhere, even if there is none, right? But he sees corruption and heretics everywhere. So kind of going in on that route, right? So it would be a character very dangerous to be around because who knows what might, the way you do something, he might start to think that that you are falling to chaos or something of that kind. So yeah, I can tell you he must have burned plenty of innocent imperial citizens. That's kind of how I'm envisioning him. What a nasty piece of work. And kind of the worst kind, right? Because he's righteous. He thinks he's on the right. Lucius, hello, hello, the one and only Lucius. How are you doing? How many times have you seen the Space Marine film this week? Santi, hola Miguel, time to listen to stream while painting. Nice. You people, you need to share more while you are painting during the stream, of course, if it's nothing secret. Yeah, you should be sharing it on the Discord server. And now that we are talking about this Discord server, for some reason, just like crossed my mind, and something that I'm sorry, but I think it's going to be important for me to at least mentioning once every stream, and it's about my Patreon. So now that it's up, working for my personal project, the Brethren of the Clouds. So please consider checking it out and support me on Patreon. All right. I feel very awkward doing this, but I think it is important. am I on the chat? Ah, yeah. Lucia, it seems like you have had extensive traditional art training. Any particular school you have attended? Yes, I studied fine arts in the en la Escuela de San Fernando in Madrid. So the fine arts university in of La Complutense in Madrid. Yes, didn't finish though, but yes. Marina, I hate having to restart my paintings, but I tell myself it's the only way I can improve. That Marina. Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, it depends on the situation, right? And it is not an easy thing to do, but I find it very, like I was saying, very cathartic somehow. It's just like I'm just taking away a heavy weight from my shoulders. And I can't say if I'm not mistaken. Of course, this is a very personal experience that shouldn't be translated to everybody, but at least for me, I can say without being mistaken that 100% of the times I have done that has been for the best. I don't recall a single instance where I regretted to start from scratch again a painting. Here I need to help myself with some construction lines because I'm not sure what I want. So to a certain degree, you could say like, yeah, maybe it's a more boring pose that I'm going for from what I had before, but in all honesty, I think it is a better choice given the type of character that he's. Also, I need to be careful with the proportions because it tend to be, or at least I tend to fall very easily into making a disproportionate big body in comparison with the head. taking into consideration that this is not a space marine, right? So the proportion should be human. Oh shit, that scared the shit out of me. T Square, thanks for the subscription. Yeah, much appreciated. Lucia, I have seen the Space Marine video. It's very comprehensive. You bring up points that I would not thought about yet. Nice. Well, that's I'm happy to hear. I'm aware that I might bring some things or subject that might be controversial for some people. For example, about my vision about how the context and the lore, that how it should be taken into consideration. I know people will disagree with me, and many other things that I will touch in on the coming episodes. But yeah, and also, I mean, this is so geeky and nerdy, but I mean, the subject of Space Marines proportions, right? So there are so many people with so many different views on how they are and how those proportions are, etc., etc. But well, at the very least, like I said on the tutorial, that is how I personally see them and how I think they should be portrayed. But yeah, very happy, Lucia, that you like them. Very happy. And again, I insist, in case you have any feedback about it or something, some points that you disagree, I would be very, very happy to hear what you have to say in that regard. So if you don't share some of the things that I say there, please don't be afraid to say it. Or if you don't like it as well, yeah, I will not take it personally. Fellfire. It was a great tutorial, and I had to immediately start my own Space Marine drawing. Well, that's fantastic news. I'm very happy that it triggered you to start drawing a Space Marine. That is great to hear. Thanks a lot, and welcome to the stream, by the way. Alex B, haven't watched the tutorial yet. Was pretty busy with COVID, so wasn't very active. Oh man, well, I hope that you recover soon. Darko, watched the first Space Marine tutorial and loved it. I'm not super familiar with 40k, but still got a lot out of the process in regards to how to approach any design with pre-existing lore. Nice. Well, very happy to hear. And yes, that's an extremely important, well, vital aspect of illustrating, in my opinion. You need to do research, and you need to understand on a deeper level the original material and its narrative intent. What is the purpose of the character that you are illustrating, or the scene, or yeah. And that was one of the things that it took me some time to decide if to include it on the tutorial or not, because, well, after all, it's not so much about actual painting, but it's about, yeah. But I since I believe it's a vital thing to take in consideration, then I decided just to include it. Lucius, I'm putting your Space Marine tutorial to good use right now. It filled a few more gaps in my understanding for sure. Very helpful. Well, very, again, super happy to hear. And I think from a technical point of view, the most useful episode is going to be the second one. Because of the talking about the volumes. Because they are, yeah, they are tricky as hell, right? Patrick, just joined and some monsters blown his leg off. Hope you are well. Yes, I'm well. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you too. And yes, um, uh, yeah, he's been blown up from the torso down, and but but for the better. So it's all good because he was corrupted. He wasn't serving the emperor as he should be with the previous pose. Also important to flip the image, the canvas. Such a silly thing, but yeah, so helpful. Also here I see the light. I will need to correct it. So there's a little bit of light covering the face, but yeah, I will have to fix that later on. But yeah, I think this is way better than what I had before. And it's not a big change, but at least it feels, now it feels better, or starting to get better. Andrea, oh yeah, I really like the tutorial because there are those things that look basic, but they are the very basic to create a believable space marine. Awesome. Do you have a favorite space marine chapter? Oof. No, I don't. I have many. I mean, if it didn't shows by the fact that I made a specific tutorial about how to paint space marines, I'm obsessed with space marines and space marine lore and stuff like that. So I have plenty of space marine chapters that I find. I have a list of favorite chapters. Because there are so many that I find them so cool and interesting. So yeah. For example, I like a lot the Lamenters. I like a lot the Crimson Fists. I like a lot of I like a lot, for instance, the Space Wolves, but Space Wolves more a little bit before they started to add a lot of wolf rides and stuff like that, which I find completely idiotic, to be honest. So if you remove that aspect of the current space walls, I always like them since I was a kid. I do quite like the iron snakes. I think they are a pretty cool and interesting chapter. Yeah, I don't know. I like a lot the Raven Guard, but the original chapter I find them a little bit boring in how in their aesthetics, and so but the concepts of their way of doing war I really do like. Oh man, this is way. I don't know what you people think about, but I think this is way better than this. This is technically wrong. I mean, there's plenty of things that are not good about the construction and volumes and everything, but also it's too cartoony. It doesn't feel believable and really just like a parody. I don't know. It feels like a Dragon Ball type of pose. All of a sudden, that like yeah, I don't know. This feels more contained and yeah, more fitting to the character. So again, this proves once again that yeah, as scary as it can feel and how much time you spent previously doing it, it's always worth it to restart if you feel that yeah, it's not working. So instead of trying to push it and smash it with the hammer, you know, just like to make it work, just send it to hell and start again. At least in my humble opinion, but this is proof. See, Martian, well, I just heard you put out that Space Marine tutorial you have been preparing. I totally missed it. How could you? Definitely gonna check that gold mine out later. And there is a longer part too, you say? It is Christmas already? Well, it is not. But yeah, it is. It's even better than Christmas because there is not just a second part, there is going to be a third part and a fourth part to it. So yes, it's a 4 episodes long tutorial. And for free. It's quite a lot of content. And yeah, that's why it took me so long. Oh man, I'm so happy that I restarted the pose. I'm so happy. This is this is way better than what I had before. Eusebio Clan, un saludo desde La Coruña, crack. Un saludo. Muy buenas. Bienvenido al stream. La Coruña. What a city. Love it. Darko, thank you for the advice. That was actually a really helpful perspective that I hadn't heard before, and and it definitely applies to me. Well, I'm very happy if that is the case, Darko. Just 1,000 Sun Rubric Marine. I guess in your case, it's not a difficult question to guess, right? Which one is your favorite Space Marines? He does look awesome, though. Sorry, I disagree. He's most certainly not right. He does look awesome, though. What do you mean? What do you mean? What by that? I disagree that he's most certainly not right. You mean the other pose? The other pose is wrong. I can tell you. I mean, to be honest, well, I mean, it's still work in progress, right? So, but yeah, this is way better. Well, Alex B, do you have a Discord? Yes, I do, and I see we got a little bit of annoying bot here. Frogs finally got back home. Glad you made it. Made me laugh, that gift that you put on the Discord. Why is there a Bitcoin bot here? I have no idea, and shouldn't be. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm gonna have to ask you if any of you at some point will be interested in becoming admin or something for the live streams to take care of these things, because yeah, I cannot do that, and yeah, to avoid this type of things because they are very annoying. So far, I mean, since my stream is such a microscopic stream in size, we have been lucky enough not to have too many of these instances, but yeah, when they happen, they are pretty annoying. So Hampus Nilsson, loved your first how to draw Space Marines. Could you share the picture you did for the human anatomy and with the armor? I know I can take a print screen, but not that good resolution. Yeah, I could do that. I could share it on the Discord. I think you can do that, right? Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, let me just share. So this is the Discord channel. You can see there on the chat. Luis Ramon, hi Miguel, how are you? A pleasure as usual. Well, my pleasure. The pleasure is mine having you here, Luis. Like always, how are you doing? Are you now completely settled in your new awesome place? I hope that is the case. Oh man, I mean, I don't know. I think it's after all this subject that we've been discussing about. I feel the need to kind of share with you the fact that I feel so happy that I changed and restarted. I mean, it's a very weird feeling, as I was saying, like very rewarding to see that it was so crap in comparison before, and I did the right thing, and now before I was on the cringe, right? It was like, oh, I don't like, and now I feel like, yeah, I feel very pumped by the new pose and the direction that the illustration is taking, thanks to the fact that I just restarted. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now. I'm very, very, very happy, which is awesome. Okay, at this point, perhaps. Okay, let's go back to the original. Yeah, here. So, so now let's zoom in a little bit on the face. I want to do another pass on the head. I'm just doing this for the recording. I could perfectly just zoom in, but for the recording, this is better. Um, Wartorg, or yeah, I guess that's how you say it. Love the new pose. Only thing that still creeps me out is the armor on the neck. Maybe it's just me. Interesting. What do you mean? Oops. I mean, it's that area of the head and the neck. It's obviously a work in progress. But yeah, can you elaborate? What do you mean? And let me check, because I haven't focused my attention in this area until now. I was more on the overall thing. So yeah, obviously, how it is at the moment is just this was just like provisional, right? There are plenty of things that need to be properly constructed and placed and defined. But one thing that I can explain is that one of my goals, I wanted to make an emphasis with the depiction of him and the armor, was to show that the armor is a very bulky thing, and I mean, that's one thing that for example, going back to the subject of the space marines and their armor and stuff like that, that the same concepts apply in this case, is that, well, it is important to understand that the armor is supposed to be a bulk. I mean, the different pieces, but it's a bulk, it's a solid thing. And regardless of how the wearer moves, I mean, there are certain parts that are not gonna move in the same way as the person inside is moving. Like, for example, in this case, the opening. So what I wanted to show here is exactly that. That the Astida, I don't think I have managed, but that's my objective, is to show that, yeah, it is a bulk, and the guy, it's kind of, there is room for him to move in this space here on the opening for the head. So he's kind of stretching the neck, but the bulk of the volume of the armor doesn't move with it, right? So that's why it's not centered. I don't know if it makes sense or if I'm explaining myself properly, but yeah, I hope it does. But yeah, let's see what you say. Oh my goodness, again this damn boat. Let me see if I can. Yeah, let's see. All right. Now the bot messages shouldn't show. Hopefully. Vaga Doom Boom. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Lucius, I will mod if you want. I'm here a lot anyways. Well, Lucius, okay, I take the offer, because yeah, that would be very much appreciated. Really, we'll see how we set it up after the stream, today or another day. I don't know, but yeah, thanks a lot for the offer. Where was I? artwork, no offense, it's the steep angle. Well, no offense whatsoever. I'm not one to be offended by feedback, good or bad, regardless. So no worries there. To the contrary, very much appreciated. So yeah. Yeah, so I see what you mean, like the steep angle. Well, I mean, you could argue that it's maybe the design of the armor in that sense. So as I envisioning the armor, so you have here the basic of, here's the opener, right, for the head. So you have like something that protection that goes a little bit more that way. But again, as I was saying, that's just provisional, and being surround might be not that appealing, and could be worth to modify it a little bit. Let's try. Yeah, so but the thing that I liked about being so rounded and basic in that way is that it's very big, and it makes it more rudimentary, or more what's the word, more basic in some way, more I cannot find the right word now in English. More basic. I don't know. I cannot find a better word now. I want to give the feeling of this armor to be a little bit archaic. I mean, could be also a little bit more like this, like more like a space marine power armor. Batuhan, thanks for the subscription. Thanks a lot, much appreciated. But yeah, with these things, with this kind of alerts in YouTube, they are difficult to know if it's somebody that is watching the stream or just randomly subscribing to the channel. But yeah, if you are around, thanks a lot. Frogs, what are your thoughts on the Age of Sigmar miniature? I'm going to get banned for saying this, but I like them more than the Warhammer 40k ones. Yeah, you are walking the line, my friend. I don't give a F about the Age of Sigmar. Once they just destroyed Warhammer Fantasy and came up with this Age of Sigmar. For me, just I never spend any time catching up, trying to understand any of it. It's just like it doesn't exist for me. I don't have anything against it. It's just that it's like I don't care. It's yeah. Right. Let's see what I'm doing now with the color, because now I'm putting it a little bit more on the side. And yeah, now again, this bot, I swear, I just let's see. Yeah, sorry about that. About that crypto stuff bots. I'm removing it, but it's still it's coming back. So yeah, what I was saying. Warthog, yeah, I think you actually you were into something. Now just looking at it a little bit closer. Yeah, it was, the perspective was definitely off before. But rearranging this as it is now doesn't convince me either. now I think it's better. Yeah, so you see, thanks a lot for the feedback. That was very well spotted. I don't know if you referred to that, but I guess that was what you meant. Yeah, now it's better. So thank you. And that's one of those things why, I mean, because these kind of volumes are pretty close or similar to the ones from Space Marines, right? In terms of these hard surface armor plates and stuff like that. And that's one of the, well, that is the main challenge. That it is very easy to lose the perspective and volumes in some elements. In relation with the rest, right? So in this case, it feels or at least that's how I looked at it, because I've been looking at it for a very long time. Like, yeah, it is fine, but if I look closely, the perspective, it's not correct, because of the angle of how the body is. It is not right. It should be a little bit more skewed, the perspective, as it is now. So now it is correct, before it wasn't. So a very subtle difference, but yeah, subtle difference between that makes the difference between wrong and right. Frogs, at least in general, both have cool models, obviously. Well, don't try to to how to say it, to hide the big heresy that you just mentioned. How dare you to say that you are more interested in the Age of Sigmar than Warhammer 40,000? That is not, it's not right. Waka Doom Doom. Hey man, great work, awesome gallery. Thanks a lot. Thank you. That is very kind to say. Thank you. Thank you. Penkadono, rudimentary is fine. Thanks. Yeah, sometimes I get blocked with my vocabulary in English. Andrea, did you study portraits a lot? All the faces that you draw look so believable. Yes, a long time ago I discovered that to me, and this is very, very personal, but to me, what made me dream about a character, and I'm talking about painted characters, concept art, or was to, what made me transport myself into believing the character was through their faces, to make very believable faces. It was, yeah. So since then, I have tried my very best to focus a lot into the faces. So yeah, that's something that I have put a lot of focus and attention through the years. Funny enough, and I don't know if this is related, um, but my grandfather, he was a professional portrait artist. So of course he painted other stuff, but yeah, he made a living making portraits. So I don't know if that just a coincidence. I think it is. Yeah, nevertheless, it is quite funny. And if you ever, by the way, fun stuff. Well, I don't know if it's fun, but yeah, yeah. Anyway, if you ever wondered why I do a sign with MY instead of I, is um, as a homage to my grandfather because he used to sign with Y instead of I for iglesias. So that's kind of some sort of to honor him in that way. Lucius, I like the iconic pirate character sketch you posted. I will keep the face. I thought it was very unique. Thank you, thank you. Glad you are liking it. Yeah, I mean, yes, I agree. I'm liking the that how the character is going. For those of you that doesn't know what we are talking about, we are talking about my personal projects, the Brethren of the Clouds, that I'm creating and sharing everything through my Patreon to support the creation of that project. So yeah, I'm glad you are liking it. As I mentioned there, it's very early in the process and plenty of things that I might change. But at least the core is there and liking it. Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned there, the main purpose is just to make it as scary or unsettling as possible, right? I want to find that balance between a very cool looking guy, like very badass, but very unsettling and even scary. So that's my goal. Um, Atuan, hello, coming from Twitch. Well, welcome to YouTube. uh, Frogs, lore wise, I don't care either. Warhammer lore is a lot better. Yeah, of course, I was joking. Lucius, it's crazy how some people fall for those bots. You think so? You think that at this point there are still people falling for those bots? I don't know. I mean, you might be right. I don't know, but I find it difficult to believe really that at this day and age there are still people falling for those stuff. But yeah. Frogs and Mortarion, of course. Yeah, that's a good model. The one model I really want to get from 40k is Reboot Gilliman and Mortarion, of course. Yeah, those two are pretty cool. The one that I find super cool is the, I mean, for big majestic miniatures is the one of Angron. I think it looks fantastic. It is. It's pretty cool. It's definitely one that I appreciate how they are changing the how do you say, the they look a little bit of this type of greater demons from Korn, because for a very long time I thought they didn't make justice to those type of characters, and but yeah, but pretty cool. Yeah, and designed by Darren Latham. I'm not sure how you say his name, but that yeah, the legend himself. So yeah, I'm not surprised that it looks very awesome. But to me, normally lately the miniatures that really I really enjoy are the ones from completely random nameless characters that are very, you know, nobody special, but just like so refined. And I cannot, I mean, just like this talking, I cannot give you an example, but like maybe like some of the miniatures that they are that they release for Kill Team, or you know, like miniatures that are a little bit more less flashy, but to me they are like so elegant. Yeah. Luis, I'm okay, thanks. Yes, setting the new house, and I'm prepared to go to holidays next week. I really need it, and in my break period, I will try follow your Space Marine tutorial and new vehicles for my portfolio. That sounds like a very nice plan, Luis. Yeah, a little bit envious that you are still have to go on vacation. Because yeah, mine wasn't that good. I mean, going back to this character, he is a big fanatic, no? Right? So would it make sense that he has big tattoos? Somehow it doesn't feel right. course, you know me, I cannot avoid trying to place some sort of scarring. But again, I mean, to be honest, the thing is that at the end, I end up working in characters that they are supposed to do involve in a lot of violence and dangerous and harmful situations. So of course it makes sense that people in that type of lifestyle will end up having scars, right? I mean, to me it feels very strange, and not believable at all. If I want to believe that's like a very, let's say, old veteran of hundreds of battles has no marks. He has never been injured. I mean, yeah. I mean, of course, uh, the wiring and cables is such a classic trope of the 40k that I cannot avoid but to put plenty on him, especially considering that he's supposed to be an old guy. So probably he's very much enhanced uh, to live longer, and so yes. Um, Cantabrian, hey Miguel, hello. How are you doing, man? Welcome. Ryan, hey man, love your work. Thanks a lot. Thank you, thank you. Andrea, oh yeah, I love the pirate. He must be a creep. Yeah, probably he's a creep, yes, and many other things. Yeah, when I mean that the universe of the Brethren of the Clouds, it's very grim dark. I'm not joking. I haven't shared anything yet about a more broad vision of it, but I will, and yeah. He's not Captain Sparrow, right? It's yeah, he has a very nasty air. And bear in mind that that character is supposed to be like again, like iconic, right? That can condense, represent the whole idea of the project and that universe in one single character. So yeah. Frogs, does the 3D sculptor come up with the model themselves, or does it go concept art, illustration, 3D model? Uh, well, I don't know what you mean, depending on on what context. Uh, if you are talking about, I don't know, the video game industry, well, there are plenty of people that can do all those things, or some parts. But yeah, normally the 3D artists, they are just doing the 3D, and the design in this case of characters or environments come from concept artists. Is that what you were asking? And yeah, in films or video games, normally there is no illustration, or it's just concept art. I mean, you can do some more illustrative work, but yeah, there is no illustrators in very general terms. It's more design work than illustration. Aside from, of course, marketing material and stuff like that, but yeah. Oh, I think it's time to wrap things up. Luis, I really love the new Games Workshop cultists. I really love the anonymous characters too, and I made more than 100 individuals converted cultist miniatures for my Chaos army. Wow, that's cool, man. And that's quite a lot. 100, shit. Guy, Frogs, I was thinking of Warhammer minis and how they come up with them. Well, that's a good question. I'm not sure, since I don't work in the Games Workshop studio. I know they have a concept art or design department, which is separate from the illustrators. The illustrators are, as far as I understand, they are within the books department, so it's a completely different thing. And then they have the miniatures department. So my guess is that they have designers, which I don't know if they do also miniatures as well, like the sculpts. But traditionally, they, as far as I understand, they have designers, and then they have sculptors as well. In some cases, they can do both, but yeah. So yeah, they have designers, concept artists now, and then they have the sculptures, but no illustrators involved, as far as I'm aware. For instance, I'm guessing that it might have happened that maybe an illustration have inspired to create a specific miniature. That might have been the case, but it is not, as far as I understand, like part of the an integrated and established process, as far as I'm aware. Yeah. So illustrators are for the books. Tasty McDoggo. I like the background look. How did you made it? Was it a brush or other tool? Just a brush. Just a painterly brush. That's about it. Lucia, is he holding a sword or a badass walking staff? We had some long discussions in previous streams about what could it be. At the end, I think I'm gonna go for some sort of very big chain sword, because it kind of fits the theme of a witch hunter of Warhammer 40,000. Like these ones that some members of the ecclesiarchy holds, like eviscerators, I think they are called. So yeah, like something very brutal and cruel, and very big, that he is only supposed to be able to hold when he wears the power armor. At least that's how I'm rationalizing the fact that he has such a oversized weapon. But now, because of his age, probably he uses it more as a staff than anything else. At least that's how I'm envisioning it at the moment. Tasty McDoggo. Another thing, do you always start with painting in tones? You mean tones in black and white? I'm asking because in any painting process video, you always do that. Well, no, I really don't, and I don't know what videos you've been watching, but actually not at all. Normally, I paint directly with colors. If I decide to go in black and white, first is for very specific reasons of the goals and needs I have for that specific piece. In this case, it is an aesthetic decision just to do it in black and white, because it's for this small projects of sequential illustrations that I want to do during the streams, and I want them to be in black and white to keep that grim, dark tone like a little bit more obvious. And if at some point I'd add a little bit of color, it would be very monochromatic. But yeah, it is a decisive, a specific decision on my part to do it this way for those reasons, but not from a technical point of view. Yeah. If yeah, normally, as I said, I paint directly in colors. I also enjoyed doing this as well, but yeah. Frogs, good luck with the studying of perspectives. Lucia, Sister Repentia, great sword. Yes, kind of, yes. Cantarian, cheers, Miguel. We'll watch you again next time and in the Discord. Sergio, hi Miguel, I'm painting Warhammer stuff too. Nice. And again, this damn bot. All right. Well, yeah, that's it for today, tonight. As always, an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thanks a lot for passing by and saying hello. And yeah, have a good week. Stay safe. Have fun painting, being creative. Stay tuned for the second episode of the tutorial of how to paint and draw Space Marines. Probably will drop on Friday or Saturday. I'm not sure. And yeah, see you next time. Same time, same day. So hasta la próxima. Hasta la vista. Bye bye.